All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live inside of the Edmond Memorial High School Gymnasium, fixing to get this girls' duel started off. More like exhibitions. They don't have a full roster on either team tonight, so we're going to run some exhibition matches. With the girls, I guess they will count as real matches, but they're not going to wrestle a full duel. So I think the girls are going to have a handful of matches, and then the junior varsity, I believe, is going to get some matches too. And then junior high boys are going to wrestle. And then at 7 o'clock, the high school boys are going to wrestle. So I'm going to finish doing a couple little things here, and then I will pick back up once some wrestling gets started, and we will go from there. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live inside the Edmond Memorial High School Gymnasium for tonight's action. The Guthrie Bluejays are in town, and they are going to get things kicked off here with Miss Bailey Harden of the Bluejays. Girls are off to action here, doing some heavy hand fighting, heavy collar tie there by Bailey. Inside ties. She's getting to work here. Down under a minute inside this quiet gymnasium. Try not to do too much coaching from the side here, but Bailey Harden of the Bluejays battling out against Edmond Memorial, trying to find the name of this young lady she's wrestling, as they're both fighting for inside ties. Bailey with a little pass by. Nice work there. And now she's going for a headlock. Edmond Memorial girls got that underhook on the inside. Bailey trying to bail out with a headlock, not able to get it, but able to stay on her feet. And now they battle back inside again, down under 13 seconds to go. And these girls are fighting hard here. As they get run out of time here in the first period, it's going to be a 0-0 score. And this will be the second period. This is going to be a high school matchup. Bailey is a freshman, so 2-minute second and third round as well. As they get, Bailey's going to get set on bottom. And they get back to action here. Stand up on the whistle and brought back down. Edmond Memorial girls high. She's got a leg in on the far side. Got too high. Harden pulls her over and gets a reversal. Nicely done by Bailey Harden. Now she's running a half out to the outside. She's got a deep half. She got that elbow high. She's settling in here, and this is trouble for Edmond Memorial as Bailey Harden has settled in tight on top, but able to flexibly get her way out. And now Bailey right to the crossface cradle. She gets that far arm, lets go of the arm, but she goes ahead and locks her hand. She's got a cradle locked up now. This is tight. She's got to settle in. Now this is big time cradle for Bailey Harden as she gets the pinfall for the Blue Jays to start this night off with a win. Nicely done, Bailey Harden, with the win for the Blue Jays. It would be 6 points for the duel. We'll go ahead and give it to her. Like I say, I don't think we're going to wrestle a complete duel for the girls, but we'll go ahead and give the team 6 points, at least for the girls' portion of this as we move on. As we get set for the next matchup, looks like the Blue Jays are going to send out Isla Mae Smith. And so we're going to get these athletes ready to go. And these girls will get set to go out on the mat. Going to be a 2-minute first period for these ladies. And there he is. John Vestal is your official tonight. Seen him around quite a bit. Does a great job. Going to do a good job for us tonight as well as these girls get started. And underhooks. Edmond Memorial's got the underhooks on both sides. And Isla Mae's having to clamp down. She's trying a little salto throw over top. She's just got to push down and get away and try to circle in. She doesn't want to get pushed out of bounds or she'll get in trouble, but tries a throw. Edmond Memorial had a trip, and Isla was caught, so she had to try a throw, but now she's caught on her back. She's pushing in on that face on the far side. You can see it, trying to keep her shoulder up. She's in all kinds of trouble here with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. It's a long time on your back. Now, if it looks like they're out of bounds, it's actually okay. As long as either one of the wrestlers has one of their feet inside, they're still going to wrestle. They allow them to wrestle off the mat. So there, as her feet slide out, Edmond Memorial girls' feet slid outside the bounds, they blew the whistle. As long as the girls out of bounds still have mat to wrestle on, they will allow them to wrestle if someone is inbounds. But if they go out onto the hard floor, if they run into something or someone, then they'll go ahead and stop the match for safety. But they now allow girls and guys both to wrestle out of bounds as long as one of the limbs is inbounds. So Isla Mae here tries to stand up on the whistle, gets put back down 7-0. That was a 3-point takedown, and then 4 points for near fall. Finds herself with about 45 seconds left to go, and she's got to try to get out here. And going for a side headlock is this Edmond Memorial lady. As she's trying to put her right leg in, she's going to hook. And now she's switched off to a half. She's got a deep half in, and Isla Mae struggling here on bottom. As that deep half was able to get secure, and Edmond Memorial picks up 6 points for their girls team. And Edmond North did a good job getting the inside tie. She dug in those underhooks, got a little inside trip, got Isla Mae in all kinds of trouble, and Isla had to fight off her back to get out of bounds. She did a good job there, but then in the second when they went back inbounds, got tripped up and got put back down. John Vestal, referee out there, did a good job letting these girls wrestle. Gave Isla all the chance she could, but Edmond Memorial girl just too tough. And we're back to work here. Back to work here. 20 seconds into this first period. Guthrie girls versus Edmond Memorial girls. Split so far, each team with a pinfall win. That's going to be 6 points each, and it won't be a full duel tonight, just a handful of matches trying to get these girls some mat time. Neither team was full, so they're just going to wrestle as many matches as they can get that match up. I'm not sure that all of these girls are the same weight class. I think they're just close to. So some of these will be official matches. Some of them might be exhibitions. Just trying to get these girls an opportunity to wrestle. Edmond Memorial in on a shot here. Heavy hips here by Guthrie, trying to push back. She needs to push straight back and break that grip. There she broke the grip, and now she's got to try to circle around behind. She's got to keep her legs long, though. Guthrie girl wants to keep her legs long and straight and not bend those legs, because if she bends them, Edmond Memorial girl is going to pull that leg back in and give herself a chance to score. So it's kind of what the battle is here. Guthrie's got to stay long and kind of take the long way around, get outside that arm. Memorial girl's trying to catch that leg, but she was not able to fight off the hustle of Guthrie. And that's going to be 3 points for the Blue Jays with about 30 seconds to go in this first period. A little bit of action here as these girls get after it. Edmond Memorial now trying to stand up. She tripods, but then gets broke right back down. And there's a half for Guthrie right there, deep half. She's got a deep half, the elbows high. The referee's looking for a potentially dangerous here because that is a bad angle. But the flexibility of this young lady is keeping her alive. She was able to put her post out on the outside and being strong here. Guthrie had that half in deep and had it in right. And Edmond Memorial able to fight that off and did a good job there. Coin toss goes to Edmond Memorial. They're going to defer to Guthrie. And Guthrie's going to put their wrestler down. Trying to base up here. Got a good whistle start, but not able to get all the way to her feet. Now stuck here on bottom. And now trying to reach for the half. She tries to peel it off and about gave it up. But now she's battling here to her feet. She posted up well. Now Guthrie in all kinds of trouble here, trying to get settled out. She's almost out, but she's almost pinned. It's kind of a little bit of both. She's fighting hard, and Edmond Memorial makes an adjustment here. And Iana Babel is the Guthrie wrestler on bottom, trying to fight it off. As the crowd starts to get into this, coaches on both sides are screaming. We're down to 45 seconds in the second period, and Iana Babel is trying to fight off her back, and Edmond Memorial is trying to scoop that head. She keeps making adjustments on top, and that is going to spell trouble for Iana, who is just stuck underneath. And there's another adjustment. She's keeping her left shoulder up. But Iana's really doing a good job of keeping her shoulder up as the Edmond North girls trying to put it back down. Trying to settle in, trying to make adjustments. Both girls are making small adjustments. But as Iana tried to go back the other way, she got her shoulder down, and the Edmond North girl was able to just push it down and keep it down. And she picks up the fall. Good match for both ladies as Edmond Memorial picks up another pinfall. And that's going to be 6 more points for them for this duel. All right. Looks like this unofficial duel scores 12-6. Guthrie came out with a pin early on by Bailey Harden. And then Memorial has picked up 2 pinfalls of their own. 6 points for every one of those pins. If a wrestler wins by a regular decision, they earn 3 points for the team. If they win by 8 or more points, they will earn 4 points for the team. If they win by 15 or more points, it's called a technical fall. They get 5 points. And then if they get a pin, that is going to be 6 points for their team. Big takedown here by Miss Vaughn here. She gets a takedown for 3. She's in control on top. Lana Vaughn on top here, goes straight for a spiral inside. She's got a chicken wing pulled up on the left side, trying to get it all the way up. Looks like she's getting it secured in. Kind of got to get elbow to elbow, and once you do, then you get what you need. And we talked about this before, but with that chicken wing, you can run a tilt to the left, you can run a tilt to the right, you can run around the head and get a pinfall. A lot of things you can do with a chicken wing if you can get it pulled back, and it looks like that's what Lana was going for. This Edmond Memorial girl able to get her arm out and get that chicken wing out as well, but now Lana's got the inside tie, and she's breaking her back down as we get into about 1:05 in this the first period of this matchup. Been all Lana Vaughn so far with a takedown, and now she's in control on top. She's going for a front three-quarter Nelson, and now she makes an adjustment and gets back behind. Lana heavy with the head here. She's putting her forearm in the back of this Edmond Memorial's. She puts the forearm in the back of the head, and that keeps her head in the mat, and it's really hard to get up when your head is stuck in the mat, and that's what you're doing there. Now she's running out front for what's called a barbed wire, and she's got to get her right knee on the back of the Edmond Memorial girl's head. If she puts her knee back there, she'll be able to push her over, almost like a pry bar. She missed that. Now she just transitions to a head lever, really just going from one thing to another. We're under 20 seconds, and here goes for the fall. She's got the chicken wing back hooked up, and Lana's doing a great job just moving from one thing to another, and that is 12 seconds to go. Lana Vaughn gets the pinfall, and really did a great job on top, just moving from one thing to another, and just kind of wore the girl down and was able to get the pin. That's going to be 6 more points for the Blue Jays, and that's going to tie up this little mini duel we're going to run tonight. 12-12, it's been all pins for these ladies as we get back to action. I believe this is Eva Luna Ellis for the Blue Jays in on a big double leg, big lift as well. Very impressive show of strength there by the Blue Jay. Now she's got an arm hooked up quick to the near fall, and this is tight, folks. That is a 20-second pin. Big-time double leg, big-time lift, and that was a big-time pin by Eva Luna Ellis. And she is all smiles tonight with a great showing. As we get ready for another matchup here for the Blue Jays. A lot more girls matchups tonight than I think we originally anticipated, so this is great. A lot of mat time for these girls. As the Blue Jays are in Edmond Memorial's gym tonight. Short little 15-minute trip to the south. As these girls hook it back up here, fighting for these inside ties. Got a heavy collar tie by the Guthrie girl. She's got that inside tie pulling down on the head. Makes it really difficult to either take a shot or really do much if someone's pulling on your head hard. So that's a very good job by the Guthrie girl. And there she goes, snatches up a leg. Little inside snatch single. She's getting elevated. The higher she gets it, the better. And that's going to be 3 points for Guthrie. 30 seconds into this match, she gets a takedown, and now she's going to work on top. Crowd's starting to get into this. A lot of people are starting to show up. You can see the stands starting to fill up. This is nice to see in this sport. As these girls now go to work with about 1:10 to go. That's going to be locked hands by the Guthrie girl. As she slips off the top, and that's going to be a 2-point reversal. And then that's going to be a locked hands call from before. That's going to be another point, and now she's stuck on her back here with a deep half. And that's going to be a pinfall in a big-time turn of events. Looks like as she fell forward, she might have took a little bit of a headbutt, got banged up a little bit. And that's going to be 3 more points for Edmond Memorial, 6 more. Looks like the Guthrie girl's going to be okay. Just got banged up a little bit. Great job by the Edmond Memorial girl who got taken down and was able to stay on a good base. Guthrie girl got a little bit too high fell off the front and locked her hands in the process. So the locked hands cost her a point. The reversal cost her 2 more points. That was a 3-point reversal, and then was able to just right off that reversal catch the Guthrie girl on her back and pick up the pinfall for 6 more points. And now we are back to Miss Bailey Harden, who wrestled earlier today. She was the first dual match of the evening, and it looks like perhaps there was another girl at her weight from Edmond Memorial. And so now Bailey's going to get to wrestle again. Lucky for her, she only wrestled 1 period, and that didn't wear her down too much, so she got a little 10-minute break, and now she is back to action here as she gets to work on an outside single to the left side. Very nicely done. Good timing on that shot, and circled around perfectly. And now she's got that cross arm as she goes around for her barbed wire. You saw that cross arm, forearm cradle earlier tonight in her first match, and there she goes for that arm again. Transitions to the half, and there she goes. Bailey Harden doing everything by the book. A takedown, a turn, and a pin, all within 30 seconds. Very well done by Bailey Harden as she picks up 6 more points for the Bluejays, who are now out in front, 24-18. And this may be the conclusion of the girls' matches for tonight. It looks like the Bluejays are going to pick up an unofficial win of an unofficial duel. Not enough girls to do a full duel, but they did a great job competing tonight. Bailey got a couple matches, and so did the other girls. Edmond Memorial didn't have a full roster, so all their girls got to wrestle and got a match in as well. So very good to see. Not sure where the duel goes from here, but I think there will be a short break. I'm not sure. I heard there were going to be some JV matches. I don't know if that means that the junior high JV or the high school JV. I don't see any boys out here warming up, though, so there's probably going to be a short break of some kind. And then we're going to do some we might get some technical difficulties solved, and then we'll get back to work here. Nope, it looks like over here to my left we're going to have an Edmond Memorial boy is getting ready to go. And I just heard a coach say there's going to be a boys exhibition match. But I currently don't see any Guthrie boys warming up here. But there's the ladies that all competed tonight. Did a great job. Unofficial win's going to go to Guthrie, 24-18 in this girls' competition. Girls are doing a great job. Coach Levi Casey over there on the left-hand side with a long beard. Second year as the head coach here. And Miss Vaughn as well, walking across the front, was blocked the entire time until the end, but she is now the assistant coach this season, and they are doing a great job with these ladies. So grateful for them to step up and help out and to take this program under their wing. They did a great job last year, and this year they're just picking up where they left off. All these girls showed a ton of improvement, and you can see that tonight. They were all, basically doing the same things, fighting for inside ties. You saw a couple shots and a couple takedowns. They're working on halves and cradles and cross faces. When you see a team all doing the same thing, you can tell what they're working on, and that means they're working hard. And if it's working for all the girls, that means the coaches are doing a good job, and that was evident tonight against these Bulldogs of Edmond Memorial. So nice job, Coach Casey and his ladies. They all wrestled good tonight, and we're fixing to move on to the boys exhibition matches. Looks like the junior high boys are finding their way onto the floor, which is a good thing. We'll keep some wrestling going. right, trying to figure out what we got going on here tonight. But it looks like the junior high is making its way onto the floor. We're going to wrestle a few exhibitions perhaps and then get the duel started. I'm going to step out real quick and find out what is going on, and then we will go from there. All right, back to action here. Guthrie Wrestler here in the blue versus Edmond Memorial in the maroon and white. Junior high exhibition match is what this is. As we're 15 seconds in, these boys are wrestling hard already. Looks like we may have a little bit of blood already. Perhaps not. Maybe referee just asking him to chill out just a little bit. Banging those heads together. A little bit too aggressive. Don't want anybody to get hurt out there. Definitely don't want to have to clean up any blood. So Guthrie Wrestler staying in a good stance, losing the inside tie battle, but now he's got an underhook. He's staying a little bit lower, keeping his head position in good position here. Edmond Memorial doing a good job now, just staying with the inside ties. Going to make it hard to shoot if you have the inside ties. As far as the other guy, if you have inside ties, it's hard to get past the arms in order to shoot. So it's good for defense, but also opens up the door for offense. Good shot here by Guthrie. Hits the outside single, stuck underneath. Going to have to lift to try to come out the back door, or lift and try to come up. He's trying to circle, but Edmond Memorial is locked around. He's trying to get his legs straight and get the circle. He's trying to step behind, but Guthrie's got head trying to peek out to the outside now. He's got his head outside, kind of in a high C position. He's still got the leg hooked. Still no points, but it's trouble for Guthrie now. He's got the ankle. Edmond Memorial's got the ankle, which is what he wants. He wants to put that on his butt and get his leg straight. But Guthrie now's got the ankle and got the leg in a bad way. Referee had to stop that, which is good for Guthrie. Good for Guthrie here as they get reset. Edmond Memorial's about to get around behind. And a Guthrie Wrestler was able to just hold on tight to that ankle and put that knee in a bad spot. So they got a fresh start here, back on their feet with 17 seconds to go in this first period. And these boys are wrestling hard tonight. It's been a lot of fun pulling the head down. He's getting the inside ties now and pulling that head down. And that's been very effective. As they're wrestling here on the outside, down under a second to go. And that's going to conclude the first period of this exhibition match for the junior high boys. Score still 0-0. Choice went to Guthrie. They deferred. I'm sorry. Choice went to Edmond, and Edmond defers. And then Guthrie goes on bottom, whistle blows. He works right to his feet off that tripod, does a good job getting to his feet. And now he's fighting those hands, trying to stay in bounds. Edmond's doing a good job hanging on, trying hard here. As they're peeling hands, trying to get away. Reaches down and grabs the leg, trying to get a reversal now. Went from trying to get to the escape to the reversal. Kind of anchored himself now down to this leg. Edmond Memorial's just trying to hang on tight here and hoping for the stalemate. Guthrie was almost out, and then he turned around and grabbed the leg. Not always the wisest move to do that. Oftentimes you're better off just letting it go and staying on your feet, because now he wasn't able to get that reversal, and he's back on bottom. Gonna have to base back up. He's got 1:05, plenty of time to get up. Back to his tripod and back to his feet. Now he's just got to peel hands and stay on his feet. It is the top guy's responsibility to return him, and if he doesn't, he'll get himself in trouble with the referee for stalling. And now here he goes back to the double leg. So he didn't get an escape. This is going to be a reversal. They were on their feet. He spun around, grabbed the legs, and turned that into a double leg reversal. As Guthrie picks up the first 2 points of the night. And perhaps this is a freshman wrestling in the junior high, if I believe I'm right. As he's on his toes now, running this half. He's doing things right. He's just got to try to get that elbow up, and he's not able to do that. Edmond on bottom stuck now. 12 seconds to go. Guthrie wrestling hard on top here, grinding it up. He's pushing hard. He's getting a lot of pressure, staying on his toes. Doing a good job with 5 seconds to go. Looks like we're going to finish this. There's a back. He might get some near fall and a pin. Under a second to go. And holy cow, I about called the end of the period. And then out of nowhere, plops over that half and gets the quick fall. And that's going to be a 6-point team win for the Guthrie Bluejays, even though this is an exhibition. Great job on the pin. Picks up the win there at the end of the first period. Well done, Guthrie. All right, to our junior high duel between the Guthrie Bluejays and your Edmond Memorial Bulldogs. We're going to do introductions now. Looks like junior high is going to do some introductions. We will film this for you as well. I'm going to step out for just a second, get some things ready to go for this duel, and we'll pick back up here shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live inside
Welcome to tonight's junior high duel.
the Edmond Memorial Small Gym up here at their high school. Nice facilities here in Edmond. The Guthrie Blue Jay junior high team is taking the mat and getting ready for
For the Bulldogs, Carson Mailer or William
this matchup. Let these introductions take place.
At 86 pounds, Guthrie is Boyd. For the Bulldogs, Riker Flynn. At 92 pounds, for Guthrie, Levi Potter. For the Bulldogs, Caden Hall. At 98 pounds, for the Blue Jays, Caden Hall. For the Bulldogs, Brooks Bayou. At 106 pounds, for Guthrie, Elijah Foshek. For the Bulldogs, Kate Kilgore. At 112, for the Blue Jays, Tanner Martin. For the Bulldogs, Jack Cunningham. 119 pounds, for the Blue Jays, Ryan Gerard. For the Bulldogs, Jude Pepper. At 126, for the Blue Jays, Kenny Evans. For the Bulldogs, Zane Maxwell. At 132 pounds, for the Blue Jays, Zane Seeker. For the Bulldogs, either Hayden McCrary or Saul Serna. At 140 pounds, for the Guthrie Blue Jays, Cade Corey. At 155 pounds for the Blue Jays, Jackson King or KP Knight. Edmond Memorial Bulldogs. At 170 pounds for the Blue Jays, Johnny Duke. For the Bulldogs, Jack Maurer. At 195 pounds for the Blue Jays, Levi Dennis. For the Bulldogs, either Chris Guthrie, Jet Willett or Riker Willett. And at 285 for the Blue Jays, Kyler Bradford.
All right, looks like we're going to get this duel kicked off tonight. Guthrie Junior High boys versus the Bulldogs of Edmond Memorial here in the middle of Edmond School District's nice facilities here at this 6A school. Going to kick off at 80 pounds. Looks like captains are going to come out to the center of the mat as they do the coin toss. We're going to be wrestling 80 pounds. Hudson Green for the Blue Jays. And he's going to be taking on Carson Merrill. Carson Merrill's of Edmond Memorial. Edmond does have a few forfeits tonight in the junior high and high school both. Flu bug has hit them hard. I know a lot of kids in Guthrie have been sick as well. Luckily, it's gone through most of our schools, so it looks like we've got a full roster tonight, but not so much for Edmond Memorial. I know their coach said that they had a couple holes anyway, and then they had to do a couple more forfeits, which doesn't make for the funnest duel, but they are going to get out here and compete the best they can. Running out to the mat tonight, John Vessel is our referee front and center. He did a great job reffing the girls' duel. And he's going to earn a full paycheck tonight between the girls' duel, the junior high, and the high school. He's going to be here for a few hours, and he is doing a great job so far. As we get this match ready to roll, Hudson Green of the Blue Jays is going to be taking on Carson Merrills of the Bulldogs. Get this matchup started off. Guthrie Junior High. Going to be 2-minute first period. And then every period after that's 1:30 for the last 2 periods. Hudson Green hard on the inside ties. As he gets after big time collar tie, attacks that outside leg. Boy, he's wrestling aggressive tonight. Big swings, big clubs, pushing hard, dives in on a single leg, swims out to the double, cuts across the front for 3. Nice job by Hudson Green. And he gets right on that bar arm as he's trying for a tilt here on his right side. Transitions that bar arm into a chicken wing. And Edmond Memorial's able to get that out. As Carson Merrill's now to his feet, gets broke back down. With 1:20 to go, a lot of action. Green back on that chicken wing. And Merrill's able to swim out. And now he transitions to a half, and Hudson Green's got a deep half. He's got the arm hooked. Merrill's is in all kinds of trouble here, but just flexible in his youth. So hard to put over. He's going for a big-time headlock now. Now he throws the headlock. Doesn't have it yet. Hudson Green able to get himself back on top and pick up near fall. A lot of action here with 50 seconds left to go. Hudson Green's going to get 4 points for near fall if this Carson Merrill's can get off his back, but Hudson's going for the pin here with 40 seconds. He's got a lot of time to settle in, and he can get this fall here on the edge of the mat. But Merrill's fights to his belly. He's got his inside arm out. That's 4 points for Hudson Green, but Carson Merrill's able to get off his back. Nicely done there. And right back to the bar arm chicken wing. Hudson Green now trying to stack this up, looking for more near fall. Was not able to get it. Man, Merrill's just flexible down there on bottom. Got up to his feet and was able to get a headlock and nearly got a reversal with some near fall. That's a big time stack there by Hudson Green. This is tight, and that's a fall. That's going to be 6 points for the Blue Jays. Puts them on the board and out to a lead early. Nice work by Hudson Green. Exciting matchup to start this duel off. 86 is going to be a forfeit, both weights. So Guthrie and Edmond Memorial will have a forfeit at 86 pounds, and that's going to bump us up to 92. Blue Jays are going to wrestle Levi Potter. Make sure I got this right. Yeah, Levi Potter for the Blue Jays is going to be coming out next. And he's going to be taking on Tavon Hall. Tavon Hall of Edmond Memorial. Bulldogs versus the Blue Jays tonight. With the forfeit, Edmond Memorial is going to pick up 6. That's going to tie this duel as we go into the third match of the night. Hudson Green of the Blue Jays taking on Carson Myers of the Bulldogs. Levi Potter in on a single leg on his right side. And Tavon circles hard and fast. Just a hustle here. Both guys on the hustle. And Tavon not able to get away as Levi Potter now transitions to the other leg, trying to single leg on his left side. On his right side. And now he's stuck in the middle trying to come out the back door. And now he circles again to his left. And boy, Tavon Merrill's able to just hustle his way behind and pick up 3 points for the takedown with 1:15 to go in this first period. Levi Potter trying to work to his base so he can get to his feet, and Tavon gets right out to the front, running for a snake here. Trying for a snake, he's got it hooked up, and this is trouble for Levi Potter. And Tavon Merrill's on top now, picking up near fall. And Levi Potter in all kinds of trouble with about 57 seconds to go. And he is on his back, and this is tight. Trying to get his arm back, and Tavon trying to push that shoulder down. You can see it better here. Levi Potter's right shoulder is up. But, he picks up the head. Now this is trouble. He picks up this head. That makes it real hard to keep them shoulders off the mat. And Terrell doing a good job listening to his coaches. Levi Potter here stuck on bottom, fighting hard. But he's got 30 tough seconds to go. And Merrill's trying to walk that arm up. If he walks that arm up, it's going to be a fall. And that's what happens there. And Carson Merrill's does a good job. That's Tavon Hall, I'm sorry. Tavon Hall and Levi Potter. Exciting match here at 92 pounds. We're going to move on up to 98 pounds. Caden Hall for the Blue Jays. It's going to be taken on Brooke Barrett. Not sure I got any of these spellings wrong. I'm reading the handwriting of a kindergartner. And so I'm doing my best. If you are from Edmond Memorial, I apologize if I get these names wrong. Doing the best we can with what we got to work with. Caden Hall and Brooke Barrett here. And Barrett in on a shot here. Block sprawl, go behind by Caden Hall. That's going to be 3 points for the Blue Jays, who find themselves down 12-6 in this duel so far. Caden Hall with a cradle on the far side, but a headlock. That's a headlock. Referee missed the call there. That was a locked hands. Caden Hall able to get out and avoid any damage. So 3-1. Got put on his back, was wise enough to let go of that cradle and just bail on it and get away. Did a good job there. But Brooke Barrett, crafty there coming through that cradle. Had Caden Hall in all kinds of trouble. And now they're back on their feet, getting back to work. Inside ties here, Caden Hall. Barrett now, good shot here, outside single to the finish. 3 more points, Caden Hall. Nice slick little outside single, set that up nicely. Got him stepping good, got the timing down, got confident enough to pull the trigger, and boy did he. Just a nice shot there on the outside. Now Brooke Barrett on bottom, trying to get to his quad pod, and there's another cradle. Caden Hall went right back to it. He likes what he sees there, but was a little bit nervous last time he got that cradle. Got himself in trouble, so he bailed off and went right to this cross arm, trying to run the barbed wire. And that is going to be the whistle. And time out in the first period. Caden Hall up 6-1 over Edmond Memorial's Brooke Barrett. Choice goes to Guthrie. Caden Hall goes bottom. Minute and 30 period here. As Caden Hall gets right to his feet and gets to work trying to peel hands, needs to just stay patient here. Barrett's going to have to let him go. Barrett's trying to push him out of bounds, which he's not really supposed to do. And Caden Hall able to peel hands and get away. Good job there. That's going to be 7 points now with that additional escape. You got 2 takedowns and an escape. Remember, Barrett got that, he threw that headlock in the first, and Hall had to bail out and give up that escape point so he'd stay off his back. And now they go back to work. Remember earlier, Hall did a good job fighting ties, kind of lulling in, setting up that shot on his right side, hit a nice outside single. See if he goes back to it again. Should be there. Barrett really hadn't adjusted his hand fights or his steps, so we'll see if he goes. Now he's getting a little more aggressive. Trying to control that elbow. But Hall doing a great job with these inside ties, just shutting down anything Barrett's trying to do. And there's a shot there. Good block. Blocked well with his head. Did a good job there. Good head hands defense by Caden Hall. High C to the right side. Beautiful high C knee pull. See if he can finish this. Cutting around the corner of the outside. He gets behind. He gets 3 for the takedown. Boy, that was a slick shot there, Caden Hall. That's 3 more points. 11 seconds to go. As Barrett gets his second escape. And Hall now going for the shot. Now Barrett trying to get around behind. Hall's trying to hang on here. We're down under a minute, and that was time. And now back to work here. Looks like choice goes to Edmond Memorial, and they're going to choose neutral. As this junior high's 3rd period match, minute and 30 seconds is the time for the 2nd and 3rd period in junior high matchup. First period's are 2 minutes, and high school is 2-2-2. 2 minutes the whole, each one of the 3 periods. Caden Hall, though, doing a great job with his head position and his inside ties, making it very, see that, the inside ties to that snap down and his head block, It's making it really hard for Brooke Barrett to get into his legs because of his positioning. He's doing a great job with that. He's just got to stick with it. Really needs to try to get another takedown here. He's leading by 8. That is a major decision victory if he can finish 8 ahead. That would be an additional point for his team. But right now he needs to try to score here and seal this up as Barrett is just coming in hot. Boy, Caden Hall able to block with his head, sprawl, and just go behind, something that Guthrie Bluejays drew a lot of. And Caden did a great job with that. Now he's up 13-2 with that three-point takedown. He's going to work on top right. 20 seconds to go in this third period. And so far, Caden Hall is going to be earning a major decision victory for the Blue Jays if he can finish here on top. And it looks like that's how it's going to be. It's going to be 4 points for the Blue Jays. And that's going to catch them closer as they're still trailing by a couple of points to the Edmond Bulldogs. As we move on to 106 pounds. Elijah Fassick here for the Blue Jays. He's going to be taking on Cuddle Kilgrave. Kilgrave here the inside. Got himself a cradle hooked up here. Quick takedown to a quick cradle. This is trouble for Guthrie here. This is tight with a lot of time left on the clock, and that's going to be 6 points for the Bulldogs with a quick pin and a quick win. It's going to be 6 more points for them. That's going to put them up 18-10. As the Blue Jays started off in the lead, but the Bulldogs quickly caught them and now have been in the driver's seat the last few matches. We're going to bump up to 112 pounds. Looks like Jack Cunningham for Edmond. I believe he's taking on Tanner Martin of the Blue Jays. Nice fireman's carry to a dump. Catches him on his back. Martin here having to fight off his back hard, but that's going to be a quick pin for the Bulldogs. And that's going to be 6 more team points on the board for them with just a 15-second fall. And now we move on to 119 pounds. And Ryan Gerard for the Blue Jays. Going to be taking on Jude Pepper. We get back to work here. Good shot there by Ryan. He's in on a double. Pulls that thing up. Got stuffed. Jude did a good job stuffing that takedown. Gerard makes an adjustment and cuts the corner. Able to lift and get 3 for the takedown. Nice job there by Ryan Gerard. Now he's got a leg in on the left side. He pulls it out. He's got a deep half on the far side. Left arm's got a half. And he's got that tight. Switches off to the right hand. Looks like perhaps we're going to get a full Nelson. When you go back and forth on those halves, you can put a half on the left side, you can put a half on the right side, but you cannot put a half on both sides at the same time. And if they touch into a full Nelson, it is a potentially dangerous hold. It's actually an illegal hold. And it's an automatic stop of the match and an automatic point for the guy on bottom. That's what happened there. So that's going to be a point for Jude Pepper. Ryan Gerard getting aggressive, really doing things right. Just got a little bit too aggressive, trying to half that other side. Didn't get his other hand out of the way. Gave up a point there. But now he goes to work on top, riding top. But Jude now trying to get to his base. He's there. And Gerard breaks him back down. Pepper's posturing, doing a good job here, trying to get back to his base. And Gerard's got wrist control here. Has got a hard cross face to a far arm, going for the far cradle here on the outside. Working that hand up. Looks like he's got his hands almost locked. He's getting close. Really needs to get his knees in behind that leg. He's kind of behind too far. And Pepper able to pull that hand away. Gerard's got his hands locked, but barely. He's able to pick up a little bit of near fall. I think I counted 3, but I'm not sure yet. Yep, there's 3 points for Gerard. And as he was going over, he just had 2 of his fingers locked. And Pepper was able to pull him off, but they went to his back and he fought off. Gerard really didn't have much, but was able to hold him there to get that 3 count. And that was good for 3. Pepper got to his feet, but Gerard puts him right back down. 10 seconds to go. And now he's got him broke all the way down. Big time 3-point near fall there by Gerard. Did a good job. Kind of making something out of nothing as he finishes this first period. 6-1. He got 2 takedowns. And then Pepper picked up a point for the illegal full Nelson. And really, Ryan Gerard scored all points this period. Scored 7, 1 for the other guy, 6 for himself. Choice goes to Edmond Memorial, and they defer. That choice is going to come back to Guthrie, and Ryan Gerard's going to pick neutral. He's had some success there so far with that double leg he had early on. And they're back to action here. Trying a headlock. You saw Jude Pepper set in for the headlock, but as he reached the second time, Ryan Gerard drops underneath for another double leg. Had success there early, and he's had success there again. Minute and 30-second periods in junior high, so this one's going to go by a little bit quicker. We're down to about a minute to go in the second period. Ryan Gerard is in major decision territory right now. Now remember, if you score a regular decision for your team, or if you win with a regular decision, it scores your team 3 points. If you score by 8 or more points, that earns your team 4 points. If you score 15 or more, that's 5 points, and if you get a pin, it is 6 points for your team. Now Ryan Gerard with a half. He's getting some near fall here. This is tight, and there's about 36 seconds to go. And Jude Pepper's got to fight hard here to get off his back, and he does. And he rolls Ryan Gerard over. This is big time for Jude Pepper. Really has been stuck all night underneath Ryan Gerard and now finds himself on top. Gerard's going to have to fight for 20 seconds. He's going to have to fight harder than this. Jude Pepper's got him tight, and that's a pinfall. Big time upset win for Jude Pepper. As Ryan Gerard had a major decision locked in and was wrestling well, and got rolled over. Jude Pepper from his back pulls a reversal and ends up on top of Ryan Gerard and puts him on his back. Big time upset win. And that's a big 6-point swing, or really 12-point swing in this duel. That's going to matter a lot as Jude Pepper pulls off some major bonus point wins that were not going to be likely. And that's a big one for the Bulldogs as we move on to 126 pounds. And Kenny Richardson of the Bluejays is taking on Zane. Outside single for Kenny. Zane Maxwell tried to fight that off, but was not able to. Now Kenny's going to work on top, but Maxwell gets back to his feet, peels hands, and we're back to action here again on their feet. Good fake by Maxwell. Maxwell tall. Big size difference here. You can see it in person, but Kenny drops right back in on a shot. Maxwell trying to cut the corner. Just a big hustle here. Kenny's trying to control that wrist, trying to wrestle here, trying to hustle, but not able to keep up with the speed of Maxwell. And Maxwell picks up 3 for the takedown with this escape earlier. That puts him up 4-3. And now Kenny Richardson's got to try to find a way to get off bottom here and even this score. Richardson now trying for a claw ride. He tried to, there's a half there on the far side. As he's working back and forth here, trying to get out to the side and run another half. Inside bar arms are tough. Kenny's trying to build up. He's doing a good job now back to his base. Now he's got to try to go from his base to his feet. He's got to get to his feet, try to get away. Doesn't want to fight hands here. He needs to be getting up. Put his head on the mat. He's fixing to get rolled up in a stack. Able to dodge a bullet on that one. Kenny on bottom's got to try to get up here with about 15 seconds to go. An escape here would be big. He's got Maxwell super high. He's got that arm, but boy, Kenny's got to try to get based up. Doesn't want to be down here any longer, and he has to be. With 5 seconds left to go, looks like we're going to end this period here with Zane Maxwell of Edmond Memorial ahead 4-1 over Kenny Richardson of Guthrie. Choice goes to Guthrie here. It looks like they're going to defer. Choice then goes to Memorial. And Memorial goes bottom. Had luck here earlier. After he got taken down, Maxwell was able to get right back to his feet. As we take a short break here for referee timeout, trying to get some things ironed out. You'll notice the referee between periods will look over to one bench or the other and ask them for their call. So typically in wrestling, they flip a coin. If it lands on red, red guy gets to choose. If it lands on green, green guy gets to choose. But that's how it works in a tournament setting. In a duel setting, they flip a coin one time at the beginning of the duel meet. The captains will go out front. The referee will flip the coin, and whatever it lands on, the team that wins, the red team or the blue team, the red team or the green team, they will get to choose odd or even. And what that means is if they pick odd, that means they get their choice in the second period for the odd number matches. So the 1, 3, 5, 7, whatever odd number match that is, they get their choice in the second period. If they choose even, then they get their choice in all of the even number matches. That's, match 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and vice versa. And so on and so forth. So that is how that choice is picked. And so it's basically one coin flip at the beginning of the duel, and that coin flip lasts the rest of the way. Maxwell doing his best to get off bottom here, gets right to his feet. Kenny dives back in on that leg. There's no change yet, but that's an inside cradle. And referee's going to give a 1-point escape. Kenny was in all kinds of trouble there. As Maxwell got away and got to hustle in that corner, had a cradle, but got out of bounds before he got any other points. So he got an escape point. That's going to put him up 5-3. And Maxwell trying to keep Kenny Richardson off of his legs. Kenny was able to score a takedown by grabbing legs at the beginning of the match, but ever since then, Zane Maxwell's been able to just go behind. But big time roll there by Kenny. Kenny rolls through, and Maxwell rolls back through and catches this headlock. And this is trouble for Kenny Richardson, as this is a tight headlock. Maxwell's got his arm put across his face, trying to push that shoulder down. Anytime a guy bellies down on a headlock like this, it's trouble. And now he's starting to sit out. Kenny, flexible as all get out, somehow gets off his back and gets to his feet, able to get out of bounds. Holy cow. Hats off to Kenny Richardson for that kind of heart. Was dead to rights. Maxwell would have pinned anybody else, and Kenny Richardson showing heart there, just fights off his back, fights to his feet, gets himself out of bounds, and now trying to get his bearing straight. Going to take a bit of an injury time. And probably rightfully so, just trying to get his air back. Not sure how much he was breathing underneath there. That headlock was tight. He's going to catch his breath here for a second. Going to catch his breath here, get a little drink. See if he can get his bearings straight. Coach Parrish Pierce there, talking with referee John Vestal, trying to get some clarification. Coach Parrish Pierce now, I believe, in his third year at Guthrie Junior High. Him and Coach Caleb Gibson down at the junior high doing a great job. This program has improved since last season. These wrestlers wrestling a lot more aggressive. Seems like they know exactly what they're looking for, what they're doing. They've done a great job so far this season. A lot more wins than last year, doing well in tournaments, and fighting hard, putting themselves in positions to win. It's what you want to see from a junior high program. It's growing. It's getting better. That's all you can ask for, and these guys have done a great job. We're going to get back to action here as Kenny Richardson trails with Zane Maxwell of Memorial, 12-3. As we get down about 20 seconds here in this second period, Maxwell's back to work on top. Has done a great job on top. Now Kenny's trying to base up on bottom. Kind of stuck underneath here as we He's got a half on the far side. That's not good for Kenny. Maxwell's running it out, but Kenny's doing a good job keeping his arm down. But now Maxwell's running the circle. He's got the shoulder high. He's got Kenny in all kinds of trouble here as we get down to short time. The referee got 2 counts. In the last 2 seconds of that match, picks up 2 more points. And that's going to put Zane Maxwell of Memorial up 14-3 over Kenny Richardson. Choice goes to Guthrie. And Kenny Richardson picks neutral. He has had success here as he got a takedown early on. He's about had a couple more takedowns. He's got to try to find a way to make something happen. Little pass by there by Maxwell, nicely done. Kenny held on to that arm and Maxwell was able to just slide it by. And now Kenny put his head down. Put his head down to peel hands, which is never wise. And when he did, Maxwell just stuffed his head and ran his hips over top of his own head. And there's an outside half. He had a half at the end of the second period, and now he's going back to work on it. Kenny this time posts up and keeps his shoulder down. Did a good job. But now Maxwell relentless on top. Going back to the other side with 45 seconds to go in the third period. Kenny just stuck on bottom. Maxwell just a hammer here on top. Kenny, to his credit, is basing up and he's fighting off. He's got to try to find a way to get out of here if he can. As Maxwell back on that power half this time. Trying to go back and forth. He's reaching back now, trying to grab in between the legs of Maxwell. You can see him reaching back there. Really just trying to do about anything with 20 seconds left to go. Kenny Richardson doing what he can here to fight. Now he's circling back or trying to reach back inside but not able to. Gets warned for stalling by referee John Vestal. Got to try to get off bottom. Kenny's just trying to survive down here. It's going to come down to a conclusion, 17-3. Win by Zane Maxwell. That's going to be 5 more points on the board for the Bulldogs of Edmond Memorial. As Zane Maxwell picks up the win. We're going to move on to 132 pounds. As Zane Seifert of the Bluejays is going to be taken on, we're going to call him Hayden McCurdy. We've got a couple names on the list, and they did not announce him in-house. And so this will be Hayden McCurdy versus Zane Seifert. Got a heavy collar tie here by McCurdy. Look for him to try to throw a headlock. He's trying to set one up. You can tell by the way he was positioned his hips, it was almost like he was about to throw a baseball. And that was loading up that hip for that headlock. He's getting that collar tie on the inside right side. And he starts to turn that hip, and when he does, he'll try to throw that headlock. Seifert so far been able to move out and take away the confidence of that, but he's got to be careful for that. McCurdy's tying up those hands good. Seifert now with an underhook. Both these athletes tall and long. Open hand double leg from out. Zane Seifert just rocks through it. Able to nail that down nicely. Caught McCurdy reaching and just went right through those hands, right into that double leg, used that length to his advantage. Able to snag those legs and pull it up to a double leg. Nice job, Zane Seifert. As we're down under a minute now, he's up 3-0 for that takedown. And he goes to work on top. Hayden McCurdy trying to get away here, got to his feet. Got a hold of those hands, peeled them off. Earns himself an escape point. And we'll see if Zane Seifert can get back to work here now. A little pass by. McCurdy tried that pass by earlier. If Seifert gets caught leaning or pushing too hard, McCurdy can hit that and put him right to his hands. So far, Seifert's not falling for it. There's that double leg. Went for a low-level single on that one. It was a nice shot. Just barely missed that ankle. And now McCurdy's trying to head and hold cradle, but there's a dump right there. A short carry. Zane Seifert picks up a slick little short carry, pulled the elbow down, and dumped McCurdy right to his back. That's going to be a 7-point takedown. 3 for the near fall. And if McCurdy gets off his back here, that's going to be 4 more points for Seifert. As this period closes out, Zane Seifert's going to be up 10 points to 1 with a big-time short carry fireman's for 7. And that's going to be a big-time move for Zane Seifert. Choice went to Edmond Memorial, and they deferred to Guthrie. Now Zane Seifert picks bottom. As we get back to action, minute 30 periods here in the second third. Seifert's got his hips out, he sits out. Now he's just got to try to quad pod up to his feet, get some hand control, he grabs the leg, and McCurdy goes for the big-time lift, and he came down with his hands locked. Those hands were locked. You cannot lock your hands when the wrestler is on bottom. And when he hit the ground, his hands remained locked. There is a grace period. If your hands are still locked, you know, you can get a second to let him go. Held onto it too long for the liking of John Vestal, the referee out there, so he calls stop to the action, gives Zane Seifert a point. And now they go back to work. Zane doing a good job rolling wrist, keeping his hands on the mat. Back to his tripod position. And he's starting to work his way out. He's got hand control. Very nicely done by Zane Seifert. Just textbook. Hayden McCarty trying to wrestle tough on top, doing what he's supposed to be doing, but Zane just did what he was supposed to do on bottom as well. Good matchup here. Long shot there again. Low-level single, steps over, trying to get behind. He's got to try to get back to his hip. He's got a cradle. He's trying for this front three-quarter on the front side. Zane Seifert from one thing to another. He's got the 3 points for the takedown. Hayden McCarty trying to roll through. Not able to. Now Zane Seifert's got him on his back. He's getting the near fall, trying to go for the pin. He's got 26 seconds. Does not get the pin, but he gets the technical fall. That's a 15-point win for the Blue Jays, and that's going to be 5 team points. Zane Seifert dominant from shooting from far out. He hits a double, hits a nice low-level single, and able to transition 2 of those takedowns from feet to back. He had that short carry also in the second period. Great job by Zane Seifert. Looked great in that matchup. 140 pounds is going to be Cade Carey, who will earn a forfeit. 155 pounds will be another forfeit as well. Guthrie's going to pick up 6 here, and they're going to pick 6 at the next one. And we're going to jump from 132 pounds, 2 forfeits, all the way up to 170 pounds will be our next matchup. Jack Maller is going to be wrestling at 170 pounds for Edmond Memorial. He's going to be taking on Johnny Duke of Guthrie. As these guys work through these forfeits. All right, working our way through now. Guthrie picks up 12 points for the forfeits. And that was a much-needed 12, as now they're getting a little bit, they're reeling in this duel here. As it's 27-34, Edmond Memorial Bulldogs with a lot of bonus wins, a lot of pin wins. Hard to keep up with the score with all these pins. But now Johnny Duke of Guthrie is going to be taking on Jack Maller of Memorial. Referee John Vestal doing what he can to get things squared away, make sure the score table's got all this right. And if they just look at the broadcast wager, Silvas has got the scores right. He stays on top of things well for us here on this broadcast. And now Johnny Duke's looking for a headlock as Jack Maller has an underhook as they work back out. Big time snap there by Johnny Duke to an underhook. Both wrestlers with an underhook, but it looks like Maller might have the advantage here. Drops to a double leg, and now Duke sprawls hard, heavy hips. Trying to get those legs back. Now he can hustle around behind. Looks like he's trying to hit the snake here. Coaches were just trying to get him to let go and go behind and get the 3, but Johnny Duke was looking for something a little bigger. Reaches up and grabs that head, and Maller then gets that underhook. Puts him in a lot of trouble. Mallard trying to step through. Johnny Duke's got the head. Boy, just no momentum to throw that headlock with, and Mallard doing a good job staying out front and holding on. And now he throws his own body lock. And Jack Mallard with the body locks got Johnny Duke in all kinds of trouble. He's got this locked up with 45 seconds to go. All kinds of trouble here. That's a pin for Jack Mallard and the Bulldogs. And that's going to be 6 more points for the team, for the Bulldogs. And the Blue Jays are going to need something big here. Out of their 190-pounder, Levi Dennis. And Levi's going to be taking on, we're going to call him Chris Guthrie. Big time double A here by Levi. Does a good job getting in. Chris Guthrie. He transitions over to a high crotch and now transitions back to his double. Now gets to work on top here for the Blue Jays. Levi Dennis 3 points on that takedown. Did a good job on the double. Transitions to a high C and then finds his way back on top. Good job here by Chris Guthrie. Able to just work his way up. Going for the headlock here. Levi's got to go the other way. He's got to stay in front. That's what you want there. Big time double leg lift. 3 more points for Levi Dennis. Anytime a guy throws a headlock like that, your instincts say to go behind the hips. It's the exact wrong thing to do because the hips is what make the headlock work. So your instincts say go behind, but really you got to stay out front. And Levi, when he made that adjustment, was able to just drop down, pick up those legs, score with another double leg. Did a great job there. And now up 6-1 and going to work on top. And Guthrie, with just a couple more matches to go, is not going to get close enough to win this duel. But any bonus win here is going to help close that gap. And that's what needs to happen here. Coaches on the side are really encouraging Levi Dennis to get this fall. And he's just trying to stay in control on top here. He's up 6-1 with 10 seconds to go in the first. And he's looking good doing it. He's staying in control on top. He's staying heavy. Dipping that hip a little lower than I like to see. He's trying to ride it out for the first. Levi Dennis of Guthrie up 6-1 over Chris Guthrie of Edmond Memorial. Choice goes to the Bulldogs. And Chris Guthrie picks top as Levi Dennis goes on bottom. And we're back to action here in this second period. Levi's going to have 1:30 to try to get out from underneath here. And these Bulldogs have been tough on top. We've seen the Blue Jays kind of dominating from the top position and from their feet, scoring a lot of points. And then the minute these Bulldogs get on top, they're finishing these matches with pinfalls. A lot of 6-point victories. The bonus has really been the talk of this duel. A lot of the upset wins they've had have come from the pins. So Levi Dennis here is not out of trouble. He's staying safe on bottom, but he's got to try to get out of there and get out of opportunity for Chris Guthrie to get something going. He's riding tough on top, Chris is. As they work themselves out of bounds, Levi Dennis is going to get a fresh start, which should help him. And Chris Guthrie of Memorial goes back on top. 37 seconds to go. And Dennis gets right to his feet, does a good job getting to his feet. And Chris Guthrie does a good job getting him back to the mat, as he is riding heavy on top, sitting on those hips, really pulling the posts away on top. And Dennis now gets back to his hands where he wants to be. He's got his hands back. And now he's posting up, trying to get to his quad pod so he can get out of there. Now Guthrie's got his arm locked up. He's got a bar arm over there on the backside. Can't see it, but his left arm is trapped. As the Bulldog on top's riding hard, but now Levi Dennis back to his feet. He's got to stay low. He's got to stay solid. He's got to stay smart. He's trying to get his hands low, but he locks his own arms up by digging under with both arms. Not sure what that technique was. Not effective. It's Chris Guthrie able to get him back to the mat. Started on top and he finished on top. But Levi Dennis wrestled hard down there, did not give up any points from the bottom, so that's not a complete loss because Chris Guthrie wasn't able to score. Choice went to Guthrie. Levi Dennis picks neutral here. And right away, Chris Guthrie gets his head down. He pulls it down. Levi Dennis goes for the double leg. Wrestling underneath here. He's got his head in between the legs. He's trying to lift. He's trying to, basically like a steering wheel, just drive him one way or the other, trying to dump him over on his hip. And he transitions off to one. He's into a sort of a modified high crotch here, and he's looking good. He's got a single leg. He's got to swim out. Oh, he should have stepped over the leg, but he didn't. Now he's all pancaked out and trapped underneath. As Chris Guthrie picks up 3 points. And that puts Levi, that gets him within 4. And the coaches of Memorial trying to get Chris Guthrie to cut him. And that's going to give Levi Dennis a point, but now with a takedown, Chris Guthrie can tie this match. And Levi Dennis, though, on that double leg. Now, he's got to stay smart here. He got 3 points for the takedown. He's just got to settle in here. Coaches are looking for him to get a half or to try to get back points. But now Dennis is in control of this win. He's just got to stay on top with 10 seconds left to go. And Chris Guthrie tried to mount a comeback there, try to make it fun. Levi Dennis's double legs were the factor in this match. Made all the difference. Levi Dennis is going to pick up 3 more points for the team with this win. As we move on to 195 pounds. Well, that was 195 pounds. We're moving up to 285. We're going to be a heavyweight now. Kyler Bradford wrestling for the Bluejays. He's going to be taking on Riker Willett of the Bulldogs. And we're back to action here inside the Edmond Memorial High School Gymnasium. Nice little crowd showed up here tonight. There's a basketball game going on next door in the main gym. Got a lot of people poking their heads in, just checking out the wrestling action. That's nice to see. Of course, the Guthrie crowd always travels well for their Bluejays. About, I'd say, half or 3/4 of this crowd is the Guthrie crowd. As Kyler Bradford locks up a headlock, he's kind of got an underhook on one side, a headlock on the other. He gets the trip, falls into it. Now he's on top. He's got the 3 for the, he's got 3 points for the takedown. He's got 4 points for the near fall, but he's looking for the pin here. As Riker Willett's in all kinds of trouble. Bradford transitions to the half. Willett's got a minute to fight here. Somehow able to push himself off his back. And Kyler Bradford goes right back to the half. And Riker Willett in trouble yet again. And just runs out of gas as Kyler Bradford picks up 6 points for the Bluejays. He gets himself another win on the season. And that's going to bring the final score of this duel. The Edmond Memorial Bulldogs 40 and the Guthrie Bluejays 36. What a great duel tonight was. And hats off to Edmond Memorial, who was down in 2 of the matches that they were wrestling and able to pull off a pin in both of those matches. Kind of at the last minute in exciting fashion. They did a good job turning the tables on the Bluejays and able to come from behind and get those big wins, which made all the difference in the world in a duel this close. 4 points difference. Really, any one of those wins goes the other way, and the Blue Jays would have pulled one off. But hats off to the Bulldogs of Edmond Memorial for making that happen. Folks, we're going to take a few minutes here for a break as the high school goes to warm up. And we'll get back on here for the preview. I'm trying to check my clock here to see what kind of time we got, 7:15. I bet they give them 5 or 10 minutes to warm up, and then we'll be back to action here shortly. So we'll leave some audio on. We'll leave the camera on for you. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we will be back at it. It's not giving a picture of what it should be. This is a janky picture. Look how janky a picture.
Yeah, it does look like it's feeling like a high.
See how crystal clear that is?
Yeah.
Some kind of a connection.
Yeah, but it looks like it's feeling like a high.
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live inside the Edmond Memorial Gymnasium. It's actually their auxiliary gym, and we are getting this duel fixing to start. Guthrie Bluejays are in town, and Edmond Memorial has been a very, very gracious host. They've done a great job here tonight as well. Obviously, great facilities in these Edmond schools, but they've been very accommodating, hooked us up on their Wi-Fi. I'm so grateful that they let us get in here early and get things set up for you guys, and getting this duel underway. It's going to be a high school duel. It's going to be 2-minute periods. Referees over here talking to the Blue Jays right now. The Memorial Bulldogs are back in their respective, I say their locker room, but their wrestling room is just on the other side of the wall, so they're in there warming up. We don't get to see them, but looks like the referee's giving out instructions, and we're going to get things started here soon. Kicking off at 106 pounds. Guthrie's going to be open. We do not have a wrestler at 106 pounds currently. If you are in the hallways and weigh 106 pounds, go please talk to Coach Jaden Davenport, because we do not like giving up 6 points to anyone. In every duel, we're having to give that up. So, but anyway, 106 pounds will start this duel off. 6 points for Edmond Memorial. 113-pound Kazim Majuka is going to be taking on Joel Landry at 113 pounds. And Joel's been wrestling for the Blue Jays now here for the last couple of years, doing a great job for them. 120 pounds, Caden McKinley taking on Uriah Sisk. And that will be a fun one. Looks to me, no, they're not flip-flopped. I'm just trying to read the handwriting, not doing a very good job. 126 pounds, Colin Kendricks taking on Aiden Smith. Aiden is looking sharp. He had a good weekend this past weekend at Mid-America. He's looking really good these last couple of duels. Kid that wrestled all through Little League. Took a little time off during junior high, but then came back in high school. And last year really is when I noticed, like, okay, this kid's going to be competitive at high school. So he's back this year again, and he is competitive. Looked good in the last duel. We had a tri-duel last week, and he looked very good. Wrestled a tough kid, a tough match, and got another win down there, and obviously had a good weekend. So we're looking forward to seeing Aiden tonight. 132 pounds, Gage Randall of the Bulldogs taking on Kyler Wilder. Kyler looked great in the duels the past weekend. What's great about Kyler is that kid is in every match all the time. If there is time on the clock, he is dangerous, he is aggressive, and he is capable of doing just about anything, anytime. So as he matures, as he has been maturing, his wrestling's getting a lot more solid. He's not relying so much on the danger. But when he needs it, by God, he is there for sure. Always dangerous. 138 pounds, Aiden Harden is going to be taking on Titan Farrell at 138 pounds, and Aiden Harden. I cannot get Aiden Harden's name right. I call him his dad. I call him his brother. I probably call him his sister, and now I'm calling him Caden, and that's not his name. His name is Aiden Harden. I'm sorry, Aiden. But Aiden has looked very good. The thing I'm most excited about is he's such a good top wrestler. He's still a little bit dangerous, still gets himself into a little bit of trouble, but boy, he has got this length, and he's got this ability to just cause trouble on top, and I like that about him, so it'll be fun to see him. Amari Watson is also on the docket, so there's a chance we could see some bumping around by the coaches in these duels. Sometimes they like to move guys up, move guys down, and get favorable matchups for the team, and so Amari Watson might get to wrestle as they bump guys around. 144 pounds, Luke Lyons is going to be coming out as well. And Luke is taking on Ben Dickinson. Also on the docket is Thomas Gyrus. Thomas might wrestle as well, but look for Luke to be on the mat. Just not sure if they're going to bump him up or not. Luke placed 4th this past weekend at the Mid-America Nationals and has looked better than he ever has. Luke gets better every year, every time he gets on the mat, but he literally looks better than he ever has by a long shot. He has been a hammer all year, and these Blue Jays are going to lean on him hard. Looking at 150, Aiden Macy's going to be wrestling Jaron Wilcox. At 157, Colton Stevens going to be wrestling Hadrian Moore. And Colton, another Blue Jay that has come on last year that will be looking to score some big-time points for the Blue Jays. He's becoming a vet now. 165, Clayton Carey coming off of his win at the Mid-America Nationals. He won the entire national tournament this past weekend, and he does not have a match scheduled for tonight. They are open, and I talked to Coach Jaden Davenport, and they want their their team leader, stud champion, to be on that mat wrestling. So look for him to be bumping around trying to get a match. So coaches are trying to get him a match. Obviously, they want to get him some mat time. But Clayton right now doesn't have a match. Look for him to bump up. 175, Malcolm Christian is on the docket against Luke King. And then a 190, Rowan McComb does not have a match scheduled. But again, if we start bumping guys up, there's a chance. I don't know if they'll bump Rowan up. He's not the biggest 190-pounder, but they might, depending on how this duel goes. Rowan is dangerous from anywhere, and he can pin anyone at any time. So depending on how this duel goes, there's a chance we could see Rowan McComb going all the way up. 215, Zakiah Akerson for the Blue Jays taking on Caden Cuthbertson. Sorry, that was a tough one. Caden Cuthbertson at 215 taking on Zakiah Akerson. And then at 258, we got big Sir William Morgan taking on Wes Lawson. And boy, big Sir William Morgan has looked great. Last year, man, about halfway through the year, he started to figure out his double legs, started to figure out how to score. He's got this little snatch single that's pretty slick. We saw it last week in the duel, and I am looking forward to seeing Sir Will out there on the mat. Gets better every time we watch him. He's getting better on top. He's getting hard to ride. He's starting to score off his feet. So Will Morgan is going to be a fun one to watch all season, and we'll get to see him tonight. So a couple open mats. Looks like 106 we're not going to get a match. And then 165 and 190. We've got guys open on one team or the other, but look for Guthrie to bump around. I got a feeling Guthrie is going to move some kids around so that we can get some matches. But Guthrie's open at at one weight. But lucky for Guthrie, they've got a couple guys out with the flu, and so the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs are going to be open at 2 weights. So 6 points given up for Guthrie. It's going to be 12 points given up by Edmond Memorial. And so this duel should come down to the wire. Really, like the junior high duel we just watched, will come down to bonus, I think. Bonus is going to be such a huge deal that hopefully they can hopefully we can get that figured out, and the bonus falls to us. So referee John Vessel is coming out on the mat to do his thing. They're going to do the coin toss. And we'll figure out who is going to get their choice as we get prepared for this duel. Try to get some graphics up for you guys and try to keep up. The pace of these duels sometimes gets quick with the junior high, but the high school is a little bit easier for me to follow. So I will do my absolute best to make that happen. 106 pounds, like I said. We're going to start this duel at 106. That means Guthrie will be open. And then we're going to move to 113, will be our first official match up. Guthrie's Joel Landry over here warming up, getting ready to go. You see him over there in your screen now. And he's going to be taking on Preston Hackler once we get all of the formalities out of the way. We are getting things going. Should be a good duel tonight. The way things are going to add up, I really do think it's going to come down to some bonuses. Hopefully it's not a runaway, but should be a good one. I know these Guthrie Blue Jays looked really, really good last week on Thursday night in the tri-duel. They picked up a win over number 10 ranked Shawnee and fell to Claremore, but in a good match. Guthrie was ranked 15th at the time. I got a feeling that ranking is going to climb for the Blue Jays as we pick up a forfeit. It's going to be 6 points for Edmond Memorial. It's going to be 16 points. And we will, let's see. It's going to give them 6 points. And we're going to move on to 112 pounds where Joel Landry of the Blue Jays is going to be taking on Preston Hackler of the Bulldogs. We're going to get this duel kicked off.
113-pound bout, Blue Jays, Joel Landry, Bulldogs, Cage Mujika.
And let's get this duel kicked off. Joel Landry with a quick shot on the whistle. I like the idea. Gonna try to get himself a quick score if he can, and now we're back to work. A little pass by off the college high. Joel found himself, I believe he's ranked number 4 now in the state, if not number 6. He got himself in the rankings to start the season. And you're seeing why here as he hits a nice double leg, turns the corner, ends up on top. That's 3 points for the takedown. Joel Landry out to the first lead of the duel, right to that roll through tilt. We saw it last week. It's exactly what he was doing. roll through tilt, but Preston Hackler's just rolling with the momentum. And boy, Landry's just relentless on this. Gets himself caught underneath and somehow does a gymnastics back roll to get back where he was. Had a good handle on Hackler's belly, but was not able to pick up any near fall as of now. But Landry now got a seatbelt chicken wing. He's let go of the seatbelt, but he kept the chicken wing, and there's the near fall. He's got a chicken wing tied up. Look at that arch by Preston Hackler. Hackler's trying to push himself out of bounds, just walking out of bounds, and Landry gets his foot in, trying to steer him back, and Hackler just with a huge arch, but that's a lot. As Joel Landry of the Guthrie Bluejays picks up 6 points on the fall at 113 pounds, and gets this duel back to tie it up. Nice job, Joel Landry. And boy, Preston Hackler did all he could to get off his back and get out of bounds. But Joel Landry was not going to have it. That's going to tie the duel now 6-6 as we move on to 119 pounds. And Kays Majika. Well, this is Cade McKinley at 120 pounds. Cade McKinley, I'm sorry. So Cade McKinley at 120 pounds, taking on Uriah Sisk. As these boys get right to it. And Sisk with the double underhooks. He gets a takedown here on the edge. Pulls up the takedown right on the edge. He was completely out of bounds, and Caden McKinley was inbounds as Uriah Sisk throws him by. McKinley gets out of bounds as Sisk gets inbounds, and he walks himself right back into a three-point takedown. Very nicely done. Heads up job to keep wrestling on the edge, and Sisk picks up 3 points for the takedown. And he gets back to work on top. He's got the barm. He's got the seat belt. He is looking for the chicken wing. We just saw Joel Landry doing this. And Sisk trying for the same thing. Got the barm. He still got it. He's just going for the inside cradle now. He's got it locked up, and he's cutting the corner. He's got him off his feet. McKinley trying hard to stay off, but now he's tight. And here goes Uriah Sisk with a tight cradle. Picks up 6 points for the Blue Jays. And that's a fall. And Uriah Sisk looking good on top. Picks up a pin for the Blue Jays. And that's going to put the Blue Jays up 12-6 in this duel. And they take the lead over as we move on to 126 pounds. Where Aiden Smith for Guthrie is going to be taking on Colin Stevens. Aiden hits a nice fireman's carry. He catches him on his back. And that's going to be a 7-point takedown if he can get off his back. I say 7, maybe he didn't get all the near fall, but he definitely got a 3-point. So he gets a 3-point takedown. And now he goes straight for the half, big-time half pin. And before the graphics can get up, Aiden Smith looking sharp tonight. Fireman's carry to the pin. And that's 6 more points for the Blue Jays, puts them up 18-6. And we're going to move on to 132 pounds. Guthrie's Kyler Wilder is going to be taking on Gage Randall.
132 pound now. Blue Jays, Kyler Wilder. Bulldogs, Gage Randall.
And we get to action here at 132 pounds. Guthrie Blue Jays wrestling Kyler Wilder in the blue, taking on Gage Randall in the black and maroon. Edmond Memorial hosting tonight's duel here in the great state of Oklahoma as Gage Randall in deep on a double leg and Kyler Wilder trying to hang on here. 3 points awarded as Gage gets right to work trying to hit this roll through tilt. We saw Guthrie hitting in the last 2 matches. And now Edmond trying to get on it themselves. Kyler Wilder, though, staying solid, gets to his base, gets to his feet, works the hands, and gets one escape. Nice job, Kyler Wilder, getting out of harm's way there, had his arm barred. And as soon as he got it back, he got right back to work and got out. Now he's got him down in a front headlock, trying for a snake here. This little cow catcher position. It's kind of an all-or-nothing position, but Kyler did a good job just trying to bail. Now he's going for a cradle on the inside, trying to cut the corner. He's got it locked up, but now Gage got that leg, was able to snack that leg in, picks up a big double leg to his back, and now he's giving him near fall. Kyler's in all kinds of trouble here. All the good went to bad, but Kyler able to fight off his back, gives up 3 points for near fall, and that was a 6-point takedown. 3 for the takedown, 3 for the near fall. Kyler really did a good job getting away and trying to make something happen. He kind of had the corner cut, but as he went for that cradle, he walked his leg right into Gage Randall, and Randall was more than happy to snag that leg, pull it into a double, and get another big finish. Now Kyler back to his feet, though, battles up. That's not easy to do, and Kyler able to get out of bounds. Gage was trying to push him out and start this match back on top, or start this period back on top. With the 5 seconds left to go, Gage back in on a high C, and there's a big double, and he's gonna run out of time. He gets the takedown, but right before he does, time runs out. Kyler Wilder down 2-9 to Gage Randall of Edmond Memorial. Choice goes to Guthrie. Guthrie goes down, and Gage Randall of Memorial is on top. And we'll start this second period. Wilder's had luck getting out on bottom. Struggling on his feet right now to keep Randall off his legs. So if he gets out here, see if he can make something happen. Nice little sit out and turn in. Kyler still in this match, does a great job, runs right to the leg. He's got the leg. He's trying to keep it in bounds. He's got the single leg. He's battling here to keep this up. He drops to the heel. Doesn't get it, but he does get the knee. He's trying to throw him forward. Now he's going for the head. There's a takedown for Kyler Wilder. And just willed that to happen. Basically said, well, if I want you off my legs, I'm going to get yours, and just runs right into those legs. Gets a 3-point takedown, and now Gage Randall is looking for a reversal here. He's in deep. He's got both legs. Wilder hanging on for dear life here, as Randall's got both legs and he's got the foot hooked. He just doesn't have control yet. With a minute to go, Wilder now locks his hands, which technically, because he's on top, that would be an illegal hold. And Coach Jaden Davenport going to come ask for clarification on that call. And so Jaden Davenport is arguing exactly what I would argue, in that he had his hands locked through the crotch, which is legal from that position. It's just a crotch lift. And the referee's calling that locked hands. And my understanding for the last 38 years of wrestling, that's completely okay. So unless there's been a rule change of some kind, so if Kyler would have locked his hands around the waist of his opponent, then that would have been locked hands. But locking through the crotch, unless something has changed, I'm going to have to get clarification from Coach Jaden Davenport on that. Odd situation, but Kyler gives up the point either way. However, he doesn't give up control on top. Referee blew the whistle for the stalemate, and that means Kyler gets to remain on top, which is good for Kyler, as now he gets to work on top. He's too high here. And boy, Gage Randall has done a good job of getting a hold of Kyler Wilder's legs. And Wilder still has his leg caught up, going for this cradle on the backside. And now Gage Randall able to whip him down with 38 seconds to go. He's going to try to get his left arm out. But Kyler holding on to that head, trying to power half on the backside. He's got a power half, outside half stack. Holding on for dear life, but it's just not enough. Gage Randall, he's got that leg deep, but about the time Kyler goes to pull him over, he's got to give it up to stop the half. And so it's keeping him from being able to score, and Kyler just crafty as all get out. Down 10-6. He's down by 4. He just needs to hang on here for the next 3 seconds and not give up any more points, and he'll be able to be in this match. Good job by Kyler Wilder just holding on, as Gage Randall had him in all kinds of trouble here. Choice is going to go to Randall. Randall's going to choose neutral. Randall back in on a shot here. That one didn't have as much gusto on it. Got a little tired to it, but able to just grit that out and suck that leg back. Gage Randall definitely with a strength advantage here. Was able to just pull that double leg up. Just kind of took a shot that wasn't very deep. He wasn't really in very far. Wilder was able to block it, but just got a hook around the back of that leg and just sucked that up to a double leg. Did a good job there. Now Wilder finds himself down 17-6 with about 1:15 to go. And really, I said this before the duel when we were going through the preview, that Kyler Wilder will be in this match if there is time on the clock. This kid goes always, and he is dangerous. There he is. He's away. And now he's firing on all cylinders, but coming off a reshot. Gage Randall back in deep on another double leg. Wilder doing a great job scrapping and fighting, but he just can't keep Randall off his legs, which is making it very difficult for him to score. And Randall picks up another 3 points. He's in major decision territory here, which will be 4 points bonus win for his team if he can win this match at this advantage. He's up by 12. If he can get near fall here, he can get a tech fall. Kyler's got to stay off his back. Really, Kyler's got to do what he's been doing. He's just got to get to his feet. He's got to try to get away, or he's just got to stay off his back and kind of cut his losses here. Wrestled a good match, kept himself in it, but the story tonight, Gage Randall just able to be in on the legs of Kyler Wilder, and that was the difference for sure. Kyler was able to stay off his back. He was able to wrestle good on bottom and get away. Looked pretty good there, but really on his feet. Couldn't keep Gage off of his legs. And that was the difference in the match. And that's going to call it good here as they run out of time. Gage Randall 19-7 victory over Kyler Wilder of Guthrie. And that's going to be 4 points for the Bulldogs of Edmond Memorial at 132 pounds. Moving on, 138 pounds will be the next match up. Looking to see here, looks like they're going to run out Aiden Harden of Guthrie. And he's going to be wrestling Titan Farrell. Titan Farrell of looks like Titan Farrell of Edmond Memorial will be wrestling here. Trying to look over here and see who they're calling up. It looks like for sure that's the matchup going to be tonight. Currently, the Bluejays lead the Bulldogs 18-10.
Bluejays, Aiden Harden.
As this duel has been fun so far, seen a lot of good wrestling. As we pick up at 138 pounds, Aiden Harden of Guthrie taking on Titan Farrell of Edmond Memorial. The Blue Jays are in blue. The Bulldogs are in black and maroon. Aiden Harden with a good inside tie, keeping control there, keeping space, keeping distance. And Farrell there with a heavy club on the outside, now takes inside control. Harden gets control back, takes a shot to the outside. Outside single, cuts the corner, gets around. Nicely done by Aiden Harden, using that length to his advantage, and right away puts a leg in. Lacing that toe, but staying in saddle, which is good. There he breaks him down, does a good job. Now he's back in saddle, back on top, doing a good job here with that figure four in the back. And Farrell now broke down with a minute to go. Aiden Harden with a slick outside single. Just use that length to catch the leg. He just hooked it, and that was all he needed to then swing outside and get out from underneath all that weight. He finished up and gets right to the legs. He's got both legs in now. This is trouble for Titan Farrell. It's a position you can get out of, but you've got to work out of it. You don't get out of it quickly. You got to systematically take steps to get out. And right now, he's not taking those steps, and Aiden Harden is going to work on top. Look for him to push this head down, maybe start trying to run a half. Now one leg got out, both legs got out. Not sure if Farrell dug those out or if Aiden was just taking those out so he could run this chicken wing, because he's definitely got the chicken wing hooked up and the bar arm. Now he's got him on his back. He's going for near fall. Aiden Harden going to work on top hard here. He gave up the legs to get the chicken wing, and now he is so close to a fall here. Farrell fighting to cape off his back. There's 15 seconds to go in this first period, and now Aiden Harden starts to sit out. This is going to be trouble for Farrell, because as he sits out and pulls, he's just going to force those shoulders to the mat, and Farrell somehow gets his arm out. Aiden gets right back to it. Aggressive is Aiden Harden, picks up 4 points on near fall, and that's going to put him up 10-0 in this first period. And boy, Aiden Harden looking tough tonight for the Blue Jays. A hammer on top. I was looking forward to seeing this, and it's exactly what we're getting, folks. Back on their feet now, Aiden Harden in the blue, and Titan Farrell for Memorial in the black and maroon. I'd look for Aiden to go right back to that same shot. He caught it again. It was open. He just got ahead of me. He was feeling it before I could say it, but yeah, that Farrell was reaching on that right side and getting heavy on that collar, and his same foot was leading, and Aiden saw it immediately. It's how he took him down the first time, took him down the second time as well. Just drew him in, and now Aiden's looking for this little Kansas ride. Yes, folks, we're in Oklahoma working on a Kansas ride. He's got it hooked up, and now he's getting near fall, and Farrell's in all kinds of trouble. Looks like he's flat on his back. Looks like the other shoulder might be up, and Aiden's transitioning into a headlock, and Farrell's had enough. And Aiden Harden for Guthrie picks up 6 points for the fall. Moving on to 144 pounds, folks, as Blue Jay Luke Lyons. And Ben Dickinson is wrestling for the Bulldogs, and we should be in for a good one here. Little headgear issue. Looks like this one's going to come out physical. These boys came out banging. Nice little ankle pick there, as Dickinson just clubbed the head and dropped to that heavy foot of Luke Lyons. Now Luke finds him in here in this shin whizzer position, trying to key lock. It's called a key lock. He's locking down that arm. And Dickinson here would be wise to just pull up and stand up with that foot. Luke Lyon crafty in here in this position, wrestling to get out. Looks like Dickinson's happy to just sit and get a stalemate. Luke Lyons, though, trying to wrestle, probably should have just got the stalemate as well, but now catches the far ankle. And look at this, Luke Lyons did not want a stalemate. Luke Lyons wanted to wrestle. And he pulls that off for a three-point takedown. Gets near fall, and now gets right back to work. So no near fall were awarded, but definitely 3 points for the takedown. That's going to be a 1-point escape by Ben Dickinson, who shoots the double, goes big for the double. There's 45 seconds left to go. Head in the hole here, as Luke Lyons just buries his head down inside that armpit. It's called head in the hole. It blocks that arm and allows him to just circle all the way around. And now there's 30 seconds to go, and Luke straight for the cradle. This kid from one move to the other, just transition wrestling like a... just so aggressive this season. I love everything I get to see here. I was calling for a stalemate earlier, and Luke said, nope, I'm going to score some points. That's exactly what he did. He knew what he was doing and knew what he wanted. Now he's going to finish out this second period on top with 5 seconds left to go. 6-1 is the lead so far. Luke Lyons of Guthrie ahead of Ben Dickinson. Choice is going to go to the Bulldogs. They're going to defer. And Luke Lyons' choice is down. As he gets set, we're going to start this second period. Lyons seals off, tripods up, gets right to his feet, gets out. That's 1 point. Increase his lead 7-1. Dickinson's been in on 2 shots so far tonight, and both of those resulted in Luke Lyons taking him down. We'll see if Luke can get some offense going here as he tries for a little high C. Dickinson's got his head underneath for good head position. He's got an underhook on the far side. I look for him to throw that by and try a high C on that side. Lyons trying to get his elbow down. Dickinson trying to work out of bounds. Luke Lyons trying to stay in. As they get back to the center, clock still runs. Down to 110 is what they're on now. Lyons with a heavy left-handed collar tie. These guys battling hard. Luke goes for an inside fireman's carry, misses. And Ben Dickinson now finds himself on top. Lyons still underneath, trying to score, trying to drag out, trying to do everything he can to score points. Doing a great job being aggressive here. And Dickinson slowing down the pace. As we continue on with this headgear malfunction. And not that anyone cares, but I think the worst rule in wrestling is headgear. It's a constant pain in the neck. And if you look at Luke Lyons' ears, they are both full of cauliflower. And he has to wear his headgear every time he wrestles. It makes no sense, but it is good for those manufacturers of headgear. And I will be the first to sign the petition to get rid of it, but no one has asked me yet. So, another timeout, another time wasted on headgear. Not anyone's fault, just the way it is. And Luke Lyons back to work here. Coaches for Edmond Memorial got a good minute or two to coach up their wrestler to try to slow down this offense of Luke Lyons, who is back to work here. And there's a nice little pass by attempt. Lyons did a good job just sitting down on his heels and not leaning forward. Had he been pushing in, he would have fell to his hands, but he felt it coming and just rocked his way back and sat on his heels so he didn't fall forward and was able to get out of that. Luke just so busy in those ties. Not really sure. I think Ben Dickinson's just trying to figure out, is he going, is he coming, is he stopping, is he going, what do we got going on here? And really just getting overwhelmed underneath there. Luke Lyons just able to snap down, go behind, and pick up 3 more points. As we close out this second period, Luke Lyons of Guthrie ahead 10-1 over Ben Dickinson of Memorial. And now Memorial's got a choice here. Dickinson's going to choose down. And Luke Lyons is only going to get 1 match tonight, and I feel like it's not going to be enough. This kid is all over the place tonight, just wrestling hard. I think this is something we've all hoped for, and we finally get to see it here. Crossface to a far arm. Kind of trying to run a barbed wire here. Now he transitions to a cradle. He's got to get his knees in between the legs. This style of cradle's too easy to defend. He's trying to catch it. Now it looks like he's almost got it, but the hands just aren't locking up. As Dickinson's doing a good job of staying long and making that cradle harder to get. Luke's starting to walk that leg up. He's trying to take the body to the leg. Really, you got to take the leg to the body. That's the difference in a cradle. Most guys take the head to the leg, but the reality is if you take the leg to the head, it's a lot easier and more effective. So Luke got stuck there. We've seen a couple cradles tonight. Guthrie's doing a good job going to cradles. Just like say, we're kind of walking them backwards the wrong way. having a little success, but could be having more. They're doing a good job with that cross-face far arm, which then leads to the barbed wire, and that's what's setting up those cradles. So it's a great idea, and they're doing a good job with it. But now Luke Lyons, he's got a major decision right now. He's up by 10 points, which is going to earn the team 4. But the coaches are looking for bonus, asking him to run that cradle again. And again, easy for Ben Dickinson just to stay long and not let that happen, as he is just stuck on bottom. It was his choice to go down. I think he was hoping he could get away and maybe try to score some more points, but Lyons not allowing for that. And now Dickinson with a blood time, probably due to one of those cross faces from Lyons, who's now up 12-1. You saw the referee, he held up his fist early. That was a warning for a stall call. Bottom guy's job is to try and score points. Both guys have to try and score points. And if you are just surviving or just riding or just blocking, that is not considered trying to score. So that's where the stall call will come from. So when you see the referee hold up his fist, it's because someone is not trying to score points, whether that's on top, bottom, or in neutral position. And in this case, Ben Dickinson was just stuck down there on bottom, just kind of surviving, trying not to get turned. And trying not to get turned is not offense. It means he is not trying to score. Therefore, referee's going to call him. So after he held up the fist, that's a warning. He warns you, says, hey, you got to get busy. Stay down there a little bit longer. Still wasn't doing enough. And so referee warned him a second time, and that was good for a point. If he warns him again, it'll be another point. So points just keep going up from there. So referees, their job is to make sure action continues and everyone stays safe in the process. So John Vestal did a good job there calling that. We got 28 seconds to go in this matchup. Luke Lyons out there in front of your camera with Coach Jaden Davenport. And I guarantee you, Coach Davenport is trying to figure out a way to get Luke to score 4 more points in the next 28 seconds so that they can get this tech fall or get some kind of a pin, as the staff over here works on cleaning up the blood coming from the nose of Ben Dickinson. Blood time is very common in wrestling, and you get 5 minutes of blood time allowed. And if you basically, once they stop the bleeding and get everything patched up, if there's blood anywhere else, they're going to have to go out on the mat and clean it up off the singlets or the shoes or the arms or whatever, wherever the blood is. They got to get everything cleaned up so everything stays sanitary. And none of that cleanup time counts against the wrestler, only the bleeding. So once he's done bleeding, they stop the clock. But cleanup does take some time, and that's what they're working on right now. As we get a good shot of the crowd, you see a lot of familiar Guthrie faces out there. Guthrie always travels well for wrestling. We got a great fan base. Want to thank everyone that showed up out there, and really want to thank all you guys for watching today. As we get things going, 28 seconds to go here, third period at 144 pounds. Luke Lyons is on top for Guthrie, and he is on top of Ben Dickinson of Edmond Memorial. Luke trying hard for this cradle, but again, he's running the head to the leg, and that's easy to defend because it just pushes the leg away. And so the way to do that, you got to take the leg to the head. And now look, he's out front trying to run this snake, trying to get more points. I told you earlier, Coach Davenport was out there coaching up Luke, trying to find a way to get him to score more bonus points. And that's what he does. Wasn't able to score the bonus, but he picks up 4 more points for the Bluejays. And that's going to put the Bluejays up 28-10, and Luke Lyons looking better than ever at 144 pounds. I cannot wait to watch his next match. He is looking good. Moving on to 150 pounds. Wrestling for the Bluejays is Thomas Gyrus. And Jaron Wilcox for the Bulldogs. And we are back to action at 150 pounds. Gyrus trying to drag there. He basically passed by it into some kind of an arm drag. Now he's got an underhook on that far side. And Jaron just clamps down and locks that down. Jairus now with the wrist control. Clears that off. Both wrestlers feeling each other out. Double leg attempt here by Jairus, a little too far out. Wilcox did a good job just blocking there with his hands. Your head is your first line, or your hands are your first line of defense. Head is the second. Wilcox stopped him with that first line. Jairus wasn't able to get past the hands, but he did a good job trying something, just trying to loosen him up a little bit. As he gets inside ties now, he's got a collar, got an inside tie. Down under a minute here in this first period at 150 pounds. Jairus with a pass by, changes direction, goes for the outside single. It was a good idea. Wilcox just blocking down now in the under-over position. Jairus now with a big underhook, goes for the high C on the far side, picks up a stall call. We talked about that in the last match where if one guy isn't trying to score points, that's what stalling is. And Jairus just all offense, Wilcox all defense, and that's what earned him the stall. Now Jairus in on a single leg on the far side. He's got a high C for a big lift. Still no points as Wilcox fighting it off. Jairus has got to sit him down on his butt and try to get him down. Now he switches off to the double. This will work here. As he pulls up the double leg, steps over. Referee still no call. There's the 3 points at the whistle. At the buzzer, picks it up. And a workman-like single leg turns to a high crotch, turns to a double. And as he climbs up at the whistle, gets the 3. Good job, Thomas Jairus. As he goes into the second period, 3 points to 0 over Jaron Wilcox of Edmond Memorial. Choice went to Jairus. He deferred. Wilcox goes down. And we're back to action here in the second period at 150 pounds. Jairus goes straight to a ankle ride. Looks like he's working for that bar arm. He's over top of the elbow, working for the chicken wing. Getting a little bit too high here, but now he gets it settled in. He's got that shoulder locked. He's got the bar arm on the far side. He's running this chicken wing out front. He's getting near fall. Now Wilcox in all kinds of trouble. Wilcox just squeezing out of there, but not quite. And that's going to be 6 points for Thomas. For Thomas Jairus at 150 pounds. Nicely done there. And the Blue Jays take off and are now out to a 34-10 lead over the Bulldogs. As we move on to 157 pounds.
For your Bulldogs, Hadrian Moore.
And Hadrian Moore for the Bulldogs, taking on Colton Stevens of the Blue Jays. Colton with a shot on the outside line and pulls it back in for the takedown. Did a great job there. And picks up 3 points for the takedown, gets right to the cradle. And as they sit out of bounds, he's picking them near fall. And Moore able to kick out and get himself out of bounds as he works his way back in. And we get set. Colton Stevens on top, up 3-0. And they get back to work here. Sits out, stands up, and Hadrian Moore able to escape. Colton Stevens able to pick up 3 points on that near fall as well from that cradle right before they went out of bounds. Score 6-1. And Colton Stevens comes out firing. And there's a reshot by Moore. And Stevens now is trying to get that leg straight, trying to get around the side. He's cutting the corner. He's got the angle. He's stepping over. Moore loses the leg. He had control of the inside of the leg. Now he lost control. He's got it on the outside. But that's 3 more points for Colton Stevens. Crafty little move there. Went the opposite direction of what you would think, which allowed him to get on top. And now he's got a bar arm and a tilt. Was able to tilt it up, but wasn't able to get any points. But he's still got the bar arm. Now he's turning that into a chicken wing. And he's got that seatbelt grip on the far side. Moore is on his back, but not quite enough for near fall. Got to get him tipped over to 45 degrees. When his shoulders are at an angle 45 degrees from the mat, that is when near fall criteria is met. And he just picked up 2 more near fall for that very thing. He's up 11-1, up 10 points going into the second period. As we finish this first period with 5 seconds to go, Colton Stevens on top. Adrian Moore starting to get away there at the end. Colton able to hold him down and keep him down. Choice goes to Memorial. They defer. Back to Guthrie, who chooses down. And Colton Stevens on bottom here, up 11-1, gets right to his feet. Staying strong here. Moore able to get him back to the mat, but gets brought to his butt in the process. And now the transition, Colton Stevens on top. He's got a deep half. And Adrian Moore in all kinds of trouble here. Colton Stevens not the one you want on top of you in this situation. And that's a pin for Colton Stevens of Guthrie at 157 pounds. That's 6 more points for the Blue Jays. We're moving on to 165 pounds, where Edmond Memorial has the forfeit.
A 165, there is a double forfeit.
And so Guthrie is going to forfeit as well. So that's going to be 6 points for each team, basically nullifying and we talked about it in the pregame, but Coach Jaden Davenport wanted to see Clayton Carey wrestle tonight, reward him for his big victory this past weekend. And so Coach is going to bump him up to 175 pounds to take on Luke King.
There are 175 pounds out. The Blue Jays, Clayton Carey. The Bulldogs, Luke King.
So Clayton Carey bumps up here to 175 pounds to take on Luke King. Clayton Carey wrestled this past weekend at the Mid-America Nationals, where he picked up a first-place trophy. Last year, Guthrie had a champion as well. This year, another champion, a great showcase for the Blue Jays at such a prestigious national tournament. And Clayton Carey's the one that brought that home and wrestled amazing to make that happen. And as you can tell here, Clayton just as sharp as ever, wrestling with confidence. As he picks up a couple of takedowns so far. He's up 6-2 now with a minute left to go. Another high C. And that's going to be another takedown for Clayton. That's 3 more points. And that's going to be 9 as they go out of bounds here. And they'll center up. Scores 9-2. And Clayton's going to go ahead and let him up before the whistle. That's going to be another point for Luke King. Now outside single slick shot there by Clayton. It's going to be 3 more. 40 seconds left to go in the first period. Clayton already got 4 takedowns. And now he's going for the crossface. Trying to pull up the cradle. He's got that locked up as well. He's got this tight, and that's a fall. Clayton carries 6 more points for the Blue Jays. And Clayton Carey looked sharp as ever. And that's going to get the Blue Jays 6 more points. Ron McComb for the Guthrie. He's going to go out and pick up a forfeit. That's going to be 6 more for the Blue Jays. The next match we're going to wrestle is going to be 215 pounds. Zakiah Akerson. Going to be taking on Caden Cuthbertson. 215-pound matchup. Getting these big boys ironed out. Not sure exactly what the score should be. We gave 6 points for each of the forfeits when it was a double forfeit. But based on the current clock, or the current score, I would say, those may have nullified each other. So we're going to reduce that team score back to 52-10 and leave it what it says here as we start this 215-pound matchup. Zakiah Akerson of the Blue Jays taking on Caden Cuthbertson of the Bulldogs. And there's a high C to a fireman's carry. And that's to his back. That's going to be 3 points for Cuthbertson as he's trying to get near fall. Still nothing yet as Akerson's fighting to stay off his back. He's trying to belly down. And man, Caden Cuthbertson just strong here. Kind of bulling his way through it with 1 minute and 19 seconds left to go. This is a tall order for Zakiah Akerson as Caden Cuthbertson's on top here in a pin hold. This is going to spell trouble. Zakiah Akerson not able to get off his back. Caden Cuthbertson picks up 6 more points for the Bulldogs. And a much-needed win. It's been a dry spell, but they are back in the win column now as we go up to heavyweight, 285 pounds. Sir William Morgan will be going out for the Blue Jays, and he will be taking on Wes Lawson of the Bulldogs. We're back to action here. Last match of the duel is going to be this heavyweight matchup. Guthrie is going to walk away with this duel for sure, but that doesn't mean that Will or Sir Will is going to go out and try to get not only a win but some bonus if he can. He's already getting active on those double legs. Went for a big single leg. Guthrie Wrestling so aggressive tonight. It has been an aggressive night for the Blue Jays. Maybe more aggressive than I can remember in recent history. Every one of these athletes came out and wrestled aggressive and hard, trying to score points. Very encouraged by what I see out of these Blue Jays tonight. All the way from the beginning matchup, all the way through, even in the matches that Guthrie was losing, there was a lot of aggression, keeping themselves in the matches. And Sir Will comes out a minute into this, has already taken a couple shots. And he's moving around a lot trying to get through. These big boys aren't necessarily going to shoot to their knees if they don't have to. And there's a pass-by attempt by Sir Will. Another single-leg attempt. And again, Sir Will just working hard here, trying to score points. Snap down, double leg. He goes again. I'd be surprised if we don't see a stall call here. Sir Will takes another shot. We're 40 seconds away from the first period. Sir Will again. He's taken about 6 shots to none, and it's been all Sir Will as he works himself towards the out-of-bounds line here. And Wes Lawson just doesn't have an answer yet for this offensive nature of Sir William Morgan. And yet again, Sir Will finally gets that leg. Was not able to finish, but that's a stall call. He did pick up a stall warning. Wes Lawson again just not trying to score points here. And that's going to earn Sir Will a warning. No points are awarded from the first warning, but if he gets another one, it will be a point for Sir Will. Choice goes to Guthrie, and Sir goes down. Wes Lawson of the Bulldogs is going to go on top. Sir Will straight to tripod. He goes to quad pod, gets to his feet. Lawson trying to drag him down, and he does. And Will here on the edge of the mat, trying to quad pod up or work himself out. Back to the quad pod. He's got him loose, and they go out of bounds. And Sir William Morgan of the Blue Jays goes back down. Score still 0-0. And Wes Lawson of Edmond Memorial finds himself on top still as we go into about minute and 30 seconds to go in the second period. Sir Will now starting to get his head on the mat. Hands are getting heavy. Lawson just hanging on here on top. Sir Will works himself up to his feet. He's there. And Lawson's got to try to hang on and bring him back down. And Sir Will almost gets caught on his back in the transition. Lawson not able to capitalize on any near fall, but Sir Will was nearly out. Lawson was able to get him back to the mat and buy himself some more time in what has been a 0-0 match so far today. And Sir Will now stuck on bottom. Referee John Vestal looks in closely to make sure things stay kosher as the big man tries for a tilt, which was a gift given to Sir William Morgan, and he happily takes that, unwraps that, and gets his 2-point reversal. And it looks like we've got blood here. Wes Lawson had basically a bar arm. He had a 2-on-1 bar arm, and I guess he thought if he went over the top and pulled on Sir Will would roll with it. And Sir Will did not, and therefore Wes Lawson was upside down underneath Sir Will, who was more than happy to just take those 2 points. And now he's up 2-0 in what is the first score of this match. Getting back to blood time here. Looks like Wes Lawson was the one bleeding, but Sir Will had to get some cleaned up as well. So looks like they got that ironed out. And these guys are back to it. And back to action, 21 seconds to go in the second period. Sir Will Morgan on top of Wes Lawson of Edmond Memorial. Wes trying to get back to his quad pod here to try to get out. And Sir Will gets that ankle control, breaks him back down. And Lawson not able to get out. And he's going to go into the third period. He's down by 2. Choice goes to Memorial, and Wes Lawson chooses top. I think the Memorial coaches were banking on Sir Will being too tired to get up, as Lawson breaks him back down. And one of the transitions in the second period, Lawson did get Sir William nearly to his back. And so maybe they're thinking that if he does that again, he's got a better chance at scoring some points, possibly picking up a fall. And there's a cradle, but he falls off, and now Sir Will's back on top. Wes Lawson takes the risk and puts himself in all kinds of trouble. And again, gives Sir William the gift he needs. And Sir Will, too savvy for that, happy to take the win. And that's going to be 6 more points for the Bluejays. And that's going to bump the final dual score. We're going to call it 58-16. We're going to take away the 6 points that we gave each team because I think they canceled each other out. And so this final duel for the Bluejays, 58-16. Guthrie Bluejays are the victor. Come to town in Edmond to face the Bulldogs. And they came to town. The junior high wrestled earlier today, and they did a great job. I was talking to Coach Caleb Pierce. Coach Caleb Gibson and told him how good of a job I thought him and Coach Pierce had done. The team lost by 4 points, and they had a couple of matches where they were winning the match, where they just got kind of flipped over to their back and beat there, kind of in a weird scramble situation. I told them, junior high kids sometimes do silly stuff, and it happens. It's a good thing. They've wrestled well and done a good job. They looked good. They wrestled hard. But they came up short. Edmond Memorial was able to pick up the victory in that duel, but then the high school came out, and Jaden Davenport's Guthrie High School Bluejays really came out and sort of dominated this duel. Edmond did pick up a couple of big wins. I think they had 3 wins in this duel. They also gave up 2 matches for forfeit. They had a couple kids that were sick. That did not help out their team score at all, but ultimately it was Bluejays all night. They wrestled hard, they wrestled aggressive, they wrestled to score. Very obvious that these Blue Jays are hungry, coming off that big national tournament this past weekend. Must have done them some good because they wrestled hard tonight. A lot of fun, a lot of good action tonight. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Guthrie News page and catching us out here on YouTube for this action tonight. We're going to be back at it again on Thursday night in Duncan. The team is going to travel all the way to Duncan. The boys only are going to duel Duncan on Thursday night, and then they have a Duncan tournament on Friday and Saturday. So we will have live coverage of the boys high school wrestling duel against Duncan on Thursday night. And then we will be back at it again after Christmas. So that'll be the last action that we see prior to Christmas. And then we will be picking up with some home duels, hopefully after Christmas. It's been all away duels so far, but we will be back at the Guthrie Gymnasium when Christmas is over. I just want to give a shout out real quick to Chris Evans at home for all the work he's doing behind the scenes. Really appreciate that. Lance Kame showed up with a camera tonight, so I appreciate that. I want to give my crew a big shout out tonight. Wager Silvas was on the score clock. Did a great job as always. Wyatt Silvas and Scout Evans were on the cameras, and they did a great job helping out. I want to tell them thank you and appreciate all of their help. For all of you at home, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time on Thursday night when Guthrie travels to Duncan to take on the Demons. I'm Sean Silvas, and I am checking out for the night. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on the Guthrie News page.